I have to admit, I feel like I'm a kid at a science fair right now. Mosquitoes are more than just a nuisance. They are the world's deadliest animal because of the diseases that they spread. I've got Sumiko de la Vega with me from San Joaquin County Mosquito and Vector Control District. And we're going to be talking about a new study that came out from Climate Central showing that 3 California cities top the list when it comes to largest increases in days favorable for mosquito-borne disease activity. Those cities include San Francisco, Santa Maria, and Salinas. So we'll start with Sumiko. What type of weather or environmental elements contribute to mosquito activity?
So there's really 2 key things that contribute to mosquitoes and the mosquito-borne diseases that they can transmit, and that is heat and water. So when we have warmer temperatures, that increases the mosquito activity. It increases their rate of development. They can go through their entire life cycle from larvae to adult in under a week. It also increases the replication or amplification of diseases that they can carry. So that's one of the main key factors, especially in the summer months, and why we see West Nile virus and other mosquito-borne diseases during the summer. The other factor is water. All mosquitoes need water to develop. There's 50 different species in California, and all of them use some type of water source to develop, whether it's something large like a swimming pool or maybe a flooded field, or even something in your backyard as tiny as a bottle cap. Really, a tablespoon of water is all that some mosquitoes need. So the key factors, heat and water, contribute to mosquitoes and mosquito-borne disease.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of larvae just swimming around. I told her, I said, these mosquitoes are trying to get closer and closer to me. You mentioned West Nile virus, but there's other diseases that they also carry.
Yeah, so West Nile virus is what we hear most frequently because here it is here in California. It pops up every summer. It exists in the bird population. When mosquito activity increases, mosquito-borne disease transmission from West Nile virus also increases. Worldwide, malaria is a very common mosquito-borne disease that can affect many people around the world. There's also tropical diseases such as dengue, Zika, chikungunya, and yellow fever. Here in Northern California, we haven't had any incidences of these types of diseases, but actually in Southern California, they have had, and over the last couple years, some incidences of local transmission of dengue, which is transmitted by an invasive species, Aedes aegypti, which we actually have here.
Is that the new species that you're tracking right now?
Yes. So
what's that called again?
It's Aedes aegypti. That's the scientific name. The common name is the yellow fever mosquito. There's another species called Aedes albopictus, which is in the Sacramento area as well. But these are both invasive species, not native to this area. Very tiny black and white mosquitoes. They're active during the daytime, so very different from our native mosquitoes, which tend to be more active at dawn and dusk. They're active all times of the day, and they can breed in the tiniest amount of standing water.
Well, so how are you monitoring this then?
So mosquito control is really data driven. So one of the ways that we're able to control or do surveillance is through mosquito traps. In our district, we set over 100 traps every week to monitor the mosquito populations throughout our county. We also test for mosquito-borne diseases from the mosquitoes we collect. We test dead birds as well for those diseases. And then we have our technicians that are in the field every single day monitoring thousands of mosquito sources all throughout the county, whether it's out in the rural areas or in the urban areas. And that's one way that we're able to use that data to make decisions on how to make how to control mosquitoes better in our area.
And what can people do in their own backyards to stop the swarm?
So because of this new invasive species, a lot of people have noticed more mosquito activity during the daytime and around their homes. And that's because of this species, which doesn't fly very far. It really will grow in your backyard sources. Some common areas are your plant pot saucers. They'll lay their eggs inside. And you can see the water that can collect in there. That can be a source. Kids' toys, anything that can collect water in the yard. These are some common areas that we see mosquitoes breeding. Even pieces of trash that blow in could be hidden underneath your bushes and your planters. They really only need a spoonful of water to develop, so it's important for residents to just look around their yards and dump out any standing water to prevent mosquito development. When it comes to yard drains, they can also screen it with window screen to prevent mosquitoes from breeding under the ground. And then if you have a permanent water source like a fountain or a pond, we also provide mosquito fish. These are mosquito-eating fish that we can place in those types of permanent sources that can't be dumped or drained, and that helps provide mosquito control in that water.
Okay, well, Sumiko, thank you so much for joining us for today. And the website, if they want to find out more information.
www.sjmosquito.org.
Okay, we'll be back.